come home.
Listen, Frank, I'm going to need a job.
It's good to have you back.
Well, hi, Charlie. Firstly, congratulations on Kin. Have you had the chance to watch it in full? And what was it kind of like, if you have, what was it like seeing it come together?
So I have not watched it in full. And there is a reason for that, which is that I kind of like to watch things once they've been released everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Once the kind of the jury is out and people have decided what they think of it, and the world has moved on, I feel like I can actually sit down and enjoy it then. If I try and watch it too early, I'm wondering what people are going to think about it. Are they going to like it? I'm a bit self-conscious about my performance maybe. Whereas if I just wait till it's out and done, I can actually sit down and appreciate it. So I haven't watched it. I have seen the first 2 episodes, and I'm really proud of them. I really thought they were great. Really impressed with everyone's work in it, and excited to finish it.
Yeah. Well, I just finished it a couple hours ago, and I can say 2 thumbs up from this over here. So I heard that you first read the script in lockdown in 2020 when the pandemic kind of first started.
Yeah, so my wife's a producer on the show, and she was reading it and figuring out if they were going to make it or not, and asked me to read it out of interest.
What was your kind of first reaction to reading it? Because, yeah, you read it initially not going to star in it, but then now we're here talking to you about being Michael. What was your first reaction reading the script?
Yeah, well, that, it's funny, every now and again, my experience with reading scripts, and as an actor, you're reading lots of scripts, you're always reading scripts. Every now and again, you can read scripts that are fine, which doesn't mean they won't be great necessarily on the screen. If the director is a real visionary and the world comes about in a way that you couldn't envision when you were reading it, you can really try. And I've had that experience a couple of times where I've done something that I thought was really interesting or fine, or, kind of there was some really good elements to it, but on screen, it's really worked. But then there's a few times in my career where I've sat down and read something, and on the page, it just was tremendous. And I personally have really responded to it in some way, whether that's to do with the character or the world or the relationships or whatever. And this was this was an example of that. I read it, and my feeling was, I want to be in this. I want to be part of this. At the time when I first read it, I wasn't able to be because I was contracted to do something else. But that then did fall apart because of COVID. And suddenly, my wife said, well, do you want me to put you on the phone with the creators? And we did that. And then it all kind of came about. And it just was one of those things where it just seemed right and was easy, and it all kind of happened fluidly. So it was really, really, it was just a happy accident that she even asked, because I don't normally read the stuff she asked me to read. So, it was very fortuitous.
Yeah, that's great. And it is kind of interesting how there have been these kind of opportunities or like new pathways presented by COVID. And
absolutely.
So growing up, you were the youngest of 5 children, and now you have a wonderful family of your own, including your wife, who says producer of the show.
Yeah.
How much of the dynamics and relationships of the characters did you relate to? And also, how much of it kind of challenged your values in relation to family?
Say that last bit again.
Yeah, how much of it challenged your values in relation to family? Because I feel like they're very loyal to each other, but then they also have these kind of preset roles or kind of a hierarchy that I found very interesting.
That's a really good question. Because of what they do, as a family, they're kind of an island. And they don't have the luxury to distance themselves from individual members if they fall out, in the same way that other families do. The modern family, there's always a sibling that isn't talking to the other sibling, or it's like, or there's an estranged parent or something. There's a lot of all of that stuff. I have a very close family, and I have lots of siblings. My brother, who's the closest in age to me, actually lives in Perth, so I don't get to see him as much. But despite having a close family and a loving family, there's always, every family's got its problems. Every family's, and there's that great expression about you can't, if you could choose your family members to be your friends, you probably wouldn't a lot of the time. I'm not sure that's completely true, but what the difference with this family, with the Kinsellas, is that their business, their whole life is what they do, and it only works if they do it well together. And family is the most important thing for them, for their survival. And really, the story that we tell in this first season of Kin is how, despite going up against a much bigger enemy, quote unquote, adversity, they are, because of their family bonds, and because of they are a business filled with employees who love each other and care each other more than any other enterprise could do. They're able to punch above their weight, as it were.
I definitely felt like also with the family, it did have a relatability because of, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but the situation they're in they are in like a heightened version of lockdown.
Yeah.
I feel like,
when they go into hiding, they're basically in lockdown. Yeah, that's right.
In one neighborhood and one kind of, in these couple of houses. And I think it did have an amazing kind of relatability for like a situation that I hope a lot of people don't have a lot of experience with, in terms of being a drug family and being a Dublin drug empire. So it had that amazing kind of entry point, which I kind of love.
Yeah.
But for you specifically, in the past, you've kind of portrayed these kind of amazing characters who kind of have these strong moral compasses, but also have this high capacity for violence. I feel like Michael is one of those characters. Is there a secret to kind of portraying those kind of characters?
Oh, wow. Wow. No, I don't know. I've never felt like I've played baddies, even though the people that I've portrayed are often very morally questionable. If there's something that I've done as an actor that's worked for those characters, it's probably that. In that I'm always more interested in, I think goodies and baddies, to use such a kind of a childish term, they always think that what they're doing is right and for the right reasons. And I think it's, if you're going to play one of, a character who does things that as an audience we have a distaste for, or we alienate ourselves from, or whatever, we don't understand or condone or anything like that, it's important that as the actor, your character believes that what they're doing is for the best, is for right, and it's right. And it's just about how you get there in your mind. If you have to believe, for example, that in order for things to work out as they're supposed to, you do need to break some eggs to make an omelette, if to use an expression. Then you have to believe that. You have to try to believe that. I don't know, but as in the industry, you do it once. You do it once, and then you keep getting offered the same kind of ideas. So it's also my job is to try and make sure that they're different enough to warrant me to keep doing them.
So for you, Charlie, I actually did some maths, and I suck at maths.
Yeah, so I.
But I actually calculated how many screen and film credits the main cast of Kin has, and it came to a whopping 419.
119 screen credits that the cast have.
Yeah,
King.
the main cast. Did you feel a sense of pressure kind of being at the heart of this amazing ensemble of like UK actors?
Not the only pressure I felt was the fact that I was the only non-Irish guy, and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to ruin it for everyone by getting it so wrong, you know. So that, you know, that was, you know, I've done accents before, but you know, doing such a specific accent in the area that the accent is from, with actors who are from there, was a kind of a whole new level of pressure, and not just the accent, but also, you know, like how these people carry themselves, so which is always different from region to region. So that was the pressure, you know. But I have to say, like, once we were on set, once we started doing scenes and saying lines and interacting, it was pretty clear to me early on that we had a really interesting family dynamic. There was some, you know, I was so impressed. Obviously we have Kieran Hines and Aidan Gillen and Maria Doyle Kennedy, but the other actors whose work I didn't know, you know, as soon as I got on set with them, I was like, wow, these guys are seriously talented. This is going to be great. So that was really so exciting.
Yeah, you guys did an amazing job kind of portraying this chemistry of a family. It felt so real.
Yeah, and I think that that's luck. There's a lot of that's luck. You just, you know, you can't act your way into good chemistry with someone. It's either there or it's not, and it really, that, you know, the casting directors and my wife, the producer, you know, they really nailed that, getting the right mix of all of us together. And it just felt, you know, we got on set and we were in lockdown anyways in Ireland, so we spent a lot of time together, and we were so grateful to be around other people. So, you know, that obviously I think all helped. But yeah, as soon as we were all on set together, I was like, yeah, this feels like a family.
Well, congratulations on Kin, Charlie. And also congratulations on returning as Daredevil. I hope that's not a spoiler, because it feels like everyone in the world's seen.
No, I think everyone knows now. Yeah.
When that officer said, you're going to need a lawyer, I was like, pray to God, the lawyer I'm thinking of. So congratulations. And I hope everyone enjoys.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Likewise.
You've no idea what you've started.
You and your idiot son and your whole fucking inbred family. You're all done. You're fucking dead.